Yeah, nutrients are a very big and challenging problem. Phosphorus is a key nutrient that we use to grow our food. Also, a key nutrient for our waters, and if we get too much of it in our waters, then we grow too much algae and it affects the health of the water and what we can use the water for. It doesn't take too much phosphorus to really grow a lot of algae. There's a rule of thumb that 1 pound of phosphorus will grow 500 pounds of weeds and algae in lakes and rivers. And as the phosphorus does its work to grow algae, then that can create a greening of the water, a certain odor. But then as the algae die, then the bacteria decompose that algae, and that consumes the oxygen, such that you have lower oxygen levels in the water. So it affects the water clarity, the aesthetics of the water, and the aquatic life that are found in that water. So it's important to protect not only our local lakes and rivers, but also these downstream waters internationally. For example, the Mississippi River flows on down to the Gulf of Mexico. And both nitrogen and phosphorus, the combination, are creating severe algae blooms down in the Gulf of Mexico. To the north, our rivers flow in the Red River up to Lake Winnipeg, and there they also have severe algae blooms due to this excess phosphorus. The other direction that our waters flow is into Lake Superior and into the Great Lakes. The sources, if you look statewide, historically have been about a third coming from the city's wastewater and industry, about a third coming from agricultural cropland, and about a third from multiple other sources that would include feedlot runoff, septic systems, stream bank erosion, and atmospheric deposition. What we've made progress in lately is reducing that wastewater portion particularly. And cities are working hard to treat and capture their stormwater such that it doesn't go directly into the rivers with such high levels of pollutants. We're controlling our feedlot runoff much better than we used to. We've also made strides forward in agricultural lands, controlling our erosion much better than we have historically. So the sources now are where we really need to concentrate on our cropland sources, our stream bank erosion, our rural areas in particular, and continue to make the progress that we've started there. We're working in kind of three main ways: a combination of vegetative approaches, erosion control, and careful management of what goes on in the soil to begin with, and try to apply only what's needed. Many different practices are used to control soil erosion. For example, keeping your crop residue on the field. Buffers that have been being placed along rivers and streams and ditches, that's another way we can capture some of that eroded soil so that it doesn't go into waters. Putting in grassed waterways so that we don't have gullies forming. Are there other types of things that we can engineer and design and construct that can treat phosphorus coming off of rural lands? For example, filters. There's sand filters, biofilters, growing, living cover. That'll shield the soil from erosion and will help with phosphorus runoff as well. So I think we need to look at practices where we can achieve multiple benefits, looking more holistically. What are the practices that will improve concerns that we have with our water quality, with our environment, with our rural lands? In our lakes, we need an average of 45% reduction in phosphorus in order to meet the standards in our 520 lakes that exceed the standards for phosphorus and that have too much algae growth. We need an average of about 40% reduction in phosphorus for our impaired rivers. Then in the Gulf of Mexico, they're looking at a 45% reduction. It's a challenging problem. It's one that we're going to have a long-term view in tackling. It's nothing that can be solved overnight. We're going to have to be patient but very active and persistent as we try and address and reduce these nutrients getting into our waters. And we'll have new information and new research that'll help us get the rest of the way.